Okay, morning. Today we are going to sail to Malta.
We're currently on liveaboard. We've basically been based around Greece for the last maybe 3.5 years. Well, sort of. Going over to Turkey, Croatia, Montenegro. But yeah, we are finally leaving the Med, or making our way out. Unfortunately, we can't really choose our weather window this time around. We're picking up friends in Malta, they're coming to visit. So we really need to leave today. So that's what we're gonna do. Hope for the best. There's nothing too strong, hopefully, except for the last days. It's coming into Malta. So hopefully we'll make it there before that. All ready.
Okay, we're underway. Just got off liveaboard. Had to launch the tender from the back over here and sort of bring it round onto deck. Looks a bit weird, so people kept stopping and seeing if we were okay. But now I think it's tight. We still have how many miles to go?
338.
338 to go. Cool. Engine problem number one. It overheated after about 20 minutes or so. Tash noticed before it got too bad. Let's hope we don't need the engine much.
Well, the update is not looking so good. We're on the engine. We've tried being on the sail, but there's only 4 knots of wind. Well, more like 3 knots now. And it's just not looking very positive, to be fair. What else can I say? We're just bobbing around the sea, along the sea. But yeah, we think the wind is coming. But yeah, we've probably chosen the worst weather window to go to Malta. Yesterday we gave up after quite a lot of hours on the engine, and the wind now and then would come tease us a little bit. We'll have like a mild sail and then it would just completely die again. So we decided to call it a day. Go into a beautiful bay. Well, we didn't know it was beautiful, but we got there and it was absolutely stunning. So although very frustrating, it was really, really beautiful. Look at it. It's just like rocks and like caves and just absolutely stunning. And yeah, now we're gonna try chase the wind. It's not looking very good. There's a lot of dead patches from here to Malta, so we've decided to just try to go as west as possible before we start heading a bit south, just to avoid all the dead patches. So we'll see how that goes.
End of day one update, and we have done an average speed of 3 knots all day, largely in the wrong direction because there's not much wind. There's not a lot going on out here. Just trying to cook dinner and then get some sleep, I guess, in our 3 on 3 off schedule. But yeah, here's the situation.
I've just come onto my watch, and an interesting night. We actually lost the wind at around 8 PM. We had quite a slow sail until then. We're just doing about maybe 3 knots, or yeah, probably average 3 knots, and 7 knots of wind, 6 knots of wind. So it was a really slow sail, but at least we were moving, and at around 8 we just completely stopped. We turned the engine on for 2 hours just because we didn't want to miss the chances of reaching the wind today, or wanted to increase our probabilities to actually getting the wind. And then we turned the engine off at around 10, and it was just mayhem. It was quite a big long swell, so the boat, I didn't even know this boat could roll that much, but we were rolling like crazy. And yeah, we did that until, so we turned the engine off at 10, and then we were rolling around until 3 or 3:30, something like that. So when I went down to rest at 3, like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, Dudley put the genoa out. And since we've been moving at 2 knots in 5 knots of wind, so it's not too bad, sort of withstanding the swell, and at least we're moving forward. It's not great, but in theory there wasn't going to be any wind until 10 a.m. so this is quite nice, because last night I was thinking I can't do this for 12 hours. Everything in the boat was just so noisy. We're going around the cupboards and like stirring them with tea towels and stuff. But yeah, hope the day is nice. It was also really humid, so the whole boat was just completely wet. It's a bit cold right now, but yeah, it was wet, humid, cold, rolly, terrible. At least due to getting onto the engine, we also got out of the traffic lane. I only realized after, but there were loads of cargo ships crossing our stern, so that was quite good as well. But yeah, let's see what the day brings.
Okay, day 2 in the morning. I've just woken up on my watch at 9 o'clock. I've actually managed to sail now after 6 hours of rolling around overnight. I mean, properly rolling. And now I'm on breakfast. Tasha's requested a yogurt bowl. Very simple to make. Here's the ingredients. A few blueberries, some grapes, surprisingly hard to cut, and a lean apricot, a little bit of honey, flax seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, and voila, breakfast.
Amazing. Thank you. It's 20 to 4 now. It's been an unexpectedly good day. We've actually had winds from quite early on, maybe 6 this morning, 3 this morning, I don't know. But yeah, we've had quite a steady wind all day. The waves started growing over the afternoon. We were heading west and just getting as close as possible to the strong winds that are coming in. And now we've finally tacked. We are now finally going down south, well, southwest, slightly west, not too much, but at least west and south, which is what we want. And the wind should just start turning, and then it's gonna get really strong, so it's gonna get emotional later. But yeah, so far it's actually been a really nice day. Now, as I said, well, for the last 2 hours the waves were increasing a little bit, but now that we've tacked, it's actually really comfortable. And now, yeah, just waiting for this wind to come in. It's going well. I've been here with my friend the winch. I've just been holding myself onto life. It's been sporty. It's been emotional. It's not even that strong, the wind, but it feels very strong. It's been howling non-stop. The waves have been becoming bigger and bigger. We've got 3 reefs in the main. And how many reefs in the staysail?
2 reefs in the stay.
2 reefs in the staysail. We had to take the genoa down. And yeah, it's just howling. I think we're going through the worst now. And just surviving. A bit sketchy, not gonna lie. But here we are. making it through. So this feels nice, huh? Thanks for the energy. Nuts now. Oh god.
Okay, is that going now?
Alright, so this is what it looks like after going into the wind quite heavily for the last 24 hours or so. I thought we were quite organised this time around, and it's looked much worse before, but it's not looking great either. Got our life jackets here, and we haven't tidied yet either, but just, you know, change of clothes, evening day, our day bed, a mess, over there, everything always falls out from everywhere. Well, that's just the cutting board, really. And the forward cabin is a bit of a mess as well. I think the worst thing that's happened is we've installed the new window, but it looks like the vent doesn't close. So our whole carpet is wet now, and our friends are arriving on Saturday. So we don't even know if we're going to make it there in time. But now also they're going to have a wet carpet in their cabin. So this is day 4. It's about midday-ish now, and we've done so far 290 miles, and we've got 63 to go. We haven't been too lucky with the wind. Well, lucky and unlucky, I don't know. We're going all the time from 0 to 0. So our average speed is actually, I think, just 2.5 knots or 3.5 knots. But that's just because when there's no wind, we've basically either stopped or on the engine quite slowly against the swell. And when not, we've been actually doing good speed with like really strong winds. But right now it's perfect. So we're actually going to stop in Sicily for the day because there was good weather window tomorrow to go down to Malta. But then as we're getting closer to Sicily, we got network, and the wind has obviously changed again. So it was looking really good to come down now. Though it's a very small window, and the wind looked really light on land. But we said, well, either we do it now or there's no wind anymore until like next week or something. And we've come out here and it's actually really good. We've got 12 knots of wind, true wind, and we're doing 5 knots, sometimes 6, and we're finally heading straight to Valletta. Can't believe it, but it's happening. So yeah, let's see how long this lasts. Yeah, we've just put a reef into the main, but yeah, the really light breeze that was forecasted of maybe like 6 to 8 knots is turning now into more of a 18 apparent, so 13.5 true wind. So yeah, we're gonna start reefing the Genoa as well.
Day 4, about 4:45, and we are 40 miles away. Taste it. It's been quite a long day, but last night was calm, with a little bit of wind, and we're doing about 5 knots all day. And we've already put the courtesy flag up because we got that excited about it. But at this speed, assuming we don't hit this cargo ship over here, we should be there tomorrow afternoon.
It's happening. We're finally crossing the border from Sicily. Sicily or Italy? Sicily to Malta. And the unimaginable is happening as well. We're actually going straight into Valletta. all against all the wind predictions and everything. We thought the wind would have died hours ago. The wind was going to come straight from Valletta if there was any, and yeah, we didn't think we would ever make it. And I don't want to talk too soon. We still have 27 miles to go, but it's looking very good. And at this rhythm, we should be there 2 in the morning. We're going to try anchor just inside basically the bay of Valletta. There's a little anchorage. I can't remember the name now. It is called, what is it? Ricasoli. So we're going to try and go into Ricasoli, but we've read a few reviews that there's some sort of steel debris or a wreck on the seabed, and that recently someone had to cut their anchor chain, well, the anchor with the chain loose to get freed. So that's going to be interesting at 2 in the morning, but it should be sandy bottom and it should be shelter-ish, although from the wind currently, this wind, it won't be shelter, but I mean, it's not blowing too hard, it's just 6 knots of wind. So yeah, we're happy, we're sailing, and it's stunning.
Okay, final dinner on board. So today I'm going to be doing salmon and rice noodles. So get your tin foil, salmon, some soy sauce on it, some chili, bit of Tabasco, everything's better with Tabasco, bit of olive oil, and wrap it all up. Wrapped up, put it in the oven. Turn oven on. Boom.
I'm doing the other part of the dinner. I am just going to boil some rice noodles, and then I got some inspo from Joe Wicks. There he is. And I am going to do this peanut dressing. So that's there, all done. I'm just going to boil some water, put the noodles in, cook them, and have them ready for when the salmon is ready. And then I'll just chop up some veggie and put it on top, or mix it with it. And that's dinner done. Because all we've got, 2 red peppers. That's what's going in there.
And voila, salmon, rice noodles, sunset. Okay, we just arrived in Malta last night about 4 o'clock in the morning, and called up VTS, and they said you cannot go into the harbour, you have to go somewhere else. So we went to St. Julian's Bay, which is this stunning location filled with high-rise. There's a nice supermarket over there, a hotel there, so lots of history here in Malta. Hopefully we'll go and see something a little bit prettier later. There was lots of happy people on the beach shouting in delight until 5 o'clock this morning, so obviously people in Malta are happy, which is nice. And then this morning I need to take apart the shaft coupling, try and fix the alignment again because it's shaking a lot, and then we try to get the anchor up this morning to just put the tender on the dinghy. And what's happening?
Well, what's happening is that none of the anchor buttons are working. And while we were in the really strong wind and dashing around, well, getting, what do we call it when you like just
Slammed.
So while we were in the high winds, in the really strong winds, and getting slammed properly against the waves, slamming against the waves. I don't think I explained that too well, but basically this morning I thought I'd take the tender off just so I could start ventilating the forward cabin, because obviously the carpet is wet. And then I just wanted to get the snubber up because the line for the tender was around that cleat, and the button for the switchboard for the button for the anchor windlass was not working. It was sort of trapped, and while we had the really heavy winds, the anchor locker door came open and Dads came out, all clipped on obviously, just to lock that door, and realised that the anchor had fully filled itself up, or taking itself up, and it was slammed. And we normally don't do that. We always leave a little bit of slack in the anchor chain and then just secure it with the line when we go on passage. So anyways, we are now just troubleshooting. I just had to undo the whole the windlass button cover, which I just redid. We just redid the wiring 2 weeks back. So yeah, we're just troubleshooting, seeing what's happening. All is good here. And this one, not so good. The cables have melted through.
So we've just got back from checking into Malta. We had to relocate around to, how do you say it?
Sliema Bay. So we just came around to Sliema Bay, and it's actually quite cool. They have a lot of buoys floating around from the tour boats, and during the summer they don't really use the buoys, they just go alongside, and therefore you can pick up the buoys for free. You do have to take one for the bow and one for the stern, and it can be quite tricky because they're actually just really big tank canisters. What are they?
Massive buoys.
Massive buoys.
But the people there, it's kind of a gentleman's agreement that you help other people that are arriving, so you'll just get people come out in their dinghies and they'll try and help you tie on, which is definitely useful if it gets a bit windier. Checking in itself was a really easy process. They weren't really interested. We just popped down with the boat's registry, my passport. They didn't really check the boat papers, they just stamped the crew list. So you take a crew list with you, stamp the crew list. They don't stamp your passport, which is obviously quite nice if you're dodging Schengen.
I think though, I guess you do have to go a little bit decisive already with the crew list and say, I've just arrived by boat, this is my crew list. We actually didn't show them our passports and they didn't ask, and therefore yeah, we didn't really check and stamp it back into Europe, which was really handy.
Yeah, so we've got a few days here in Malta, and then we'll see our friends here, and then we're planning on moving when the weather's good up to Sicily, along the coast of Sicily, and then to the Agadi Islands.
Yeah, so see you next time in the Agadi Islands. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you soon.